yeah, there's this heavy attention placed to writing, so that our education system is about what is written. But this is not what education systems have always looked like. Yes? And this is not what education systems will always look like.
Yeah.
So just to not lose sight of the fact that if you did not dance, you would not have written.
No, I don't think either one of us are losing sight of that. We know the power of performance, and the way in which Ms. Dunham told her story after coming back from the Caribbean. She did it both.
Yeah.
She created what we call, you see, in anthropology, that's called ethnography. Right? Okay, so you're supposed to come back from the field, everything you saw, you took notes, you participated in different things with the people, and then you're supposed to come back, go into an isolated space, and write all that down, and that becomes your ethnography of your experience with those people in the field. Well, Ms. Dunham did that. She has Dances of Haiti, she has Island Possessed, she has Journey to Akampong, about 30 days up in the Blue Hills of Jamaica, with the people there, with the Maroons. And she also created what she called, what scholars have now called performance ethnography, where her pieces are actually performed ethnography on the stage. And if you have diaspora literacy, you can read what she's doing. When I look at your piece, I can read what it is you're doing, what you're talking about in terms of the different eras that you're drawing from. I can read that because I know those eras. Not everybody can, but they know that there's some power going on there, right? So I think, at least us, we know the power of both. And so when I'm writing this, I'm never losing the sight of what it means for our people to perform their knowledge. Because if there's one thing I learned from Catherine Dunham, is that dance is not just a series of steps. It's embodied knowledge. That's what dance truly is. It's embodied knowledge.
Love that. You had a question, right? Oh, she was first.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to know when you decided to want to share your calling of healing. Both of you. Was there a specific moment where you're like, I need to choreograph and I need to make sure that I'm taking this route of XYZ to make sure that these stories are being told, or it's being told this way, or I'm creating these spaces when audience come to see these shows, even if we're in white spaces, both of you. I'm just really curious if there was any moment that stood out for you.
Well, I started dancing because I was teased when I was younger for my voice. So this idea of healing came from a need for me to heal and feel safe and feel that I could fully express myself. And still now, even though I'm speaking in front of you, I still have a fear of my voice and speaking. And so I feel like dance is a way for me to communicate and be 8 feet tall or 10 feet tall, and say what I want and how to say. And I wasn't being teased. I wasn't put in that position to feel that kind of empowerment. It actually did this to me. And when I'm able to dance, I'm able to do this. And in doing that, I hope that my journey to healing also taps into other people's journey towards healing. So it's not necessarily like yes, I'm doing it for us, but it's starting with the specificity of my need. And hopefully the specificity of my need turns into the universal connection that we all have, and a need to heal in whatever form.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, for me, I have to truthfully say that it's the only thing that ever just made any sense to me. That when, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I haven't done a lot of what you would call commercial dancing, is because my path has always led me toward community and community healing. In Dancing in Blackness, I talk about my time here in New York. I lived in New York in the early 70s. 1972, the entire year, I danced with the Rod Rogers Dance Company. And the last thing that I remember that his company performed in, that I actually had a solo in, was on Broadway, because at that time there was a dance season, and there was an opening on Broadway of the dance season with certain companies that were chosen to perform. And his company, during that time I was with him, was chosen to be on Broadway for the opening of the dance season. So I got a New York Times review and all of that. And then right after that performance, I said, Rod, I'm going back to Oakland, California. And he looked at me like, wow, you're just getting recognized. I said, but I need to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. And I tried to do a little bit of something here in New York, and it just wasn't working out. It was a glut. It was just so much going on, so many people, great artists, at various levels, even within Black dance. And so I said, no, I need to do my own work, and I can only do it in my home area. Mm-hmm. And so I left and went back to do my own thing, and eventually started my own school, and as they say, the rest is history. But just something in me was not about just getting known for my own dance. Mm-hmm. It was about community building, and that's what I did in Oakland. Mm-hmm. The young brother right here, he will tell you, he was one of our studio babies, who his mother and I are very close. Dr. Linda Goodrich, great dancer. And when she had him, she would bring him and put him on a pallet on the studio floor, and we would continue our rehearsals and our classes that way. But that's what made sense to me. That I just knew within my spirit that I had to do my dance career in terms of community building. And I'm very proud of that. And there's a community in Oakland now that grew out of that, that still exists today, that has passed on generation after generation, and that has empowered people. So I know I made the right choice.
I just had one question. I feel like as dancers, thinking about the future can be a bit scary, because you think about the impact of time on the body. So I wanted to ask more about like your journey of transitioning out of like physical performance and into writing, and how that was almost like a personal grappling with your own future. And yeah, just like that acceptance as a performer of like, one day I'm not gonna physically be able to do this, and how that choice, led you into this.
Well, personally, I was always researching and writing, even when I was performing, building my own, local companies and school. And so I was always interested in really doing that research, that Sankofa process of looking back to the past. And I created what I call the evolution of Black dance, which was a lecture demonstration that kind of showed how African dance was at the basis of our survival as a people. And, it would start off in terms of some kind of representation of West African dance, and then go into the era of the plantation, and then on up to whatever the current day social dance was of that time. And so I was always doing that, and I got deeper into that research, and I think through that allowed me to know again that Dunham model that I needed to not only perform and dance, but I needed to also write and research. Because when I met Catherine Dunham, then I had that reinforced. Here is the perfect example: a published writer and a great performer that the whole world knows. So it was easy as a transition. I have 2 knee replacements now. That's how much I danced. You know, and now I can dance again, because there was a period of my elder years where it hurt to walk, let alone dance. When I had I made the commitment. 2018, I got the left knee. 2019, I got the right knee right before COVID. Thank the Lord. And you know, I can dance again with these, you know, titanium plastic knees. But I had already decided to go back to graduate school, get my doctorate and all of that. But the seed, and I guess that's the main point, was already there. And I was doing that all the time. So when it was necessary through age, you know, that I couldn't really perform anymore, I was already building that other career and making that work for me as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's dancing. What's dancing on the stage to dancing on the page. I think that says it all.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you, Dr. Julico Samari, for your work. This was beautiful and brilliant. Thank you to Greenlight for hosting this event. And thank you all for being here and your energy and your feedback. It's a community, and we made that one tonight, so thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for that wonderful conversation. We do have books for sale at the register, so support these amazing artists who will be signing just right up here at the podium. So you can get a book and sign, have a little chat. Thank you all for coming.
When is your company performing in the New York area again?
Oh, not until 25.
Oh, I see.
We're still working on a new piece.
Oh, okay.
Camille, do you mind if I take a photo? So I can place it with TC.
Harlem Stage.
Thank you, Courtney.
What's the backdrop?
Oh, just right here with your book, because I'm gonna, you know, because of the doctor program at TC,
Okay.
I want to make sure that they know about this book.
Okay, let
Which
me
they
just
do.
mention one thing. Folks, I have these cards here
They know about the book.
I know
that you
they
can
know.
take and give to people who were not here, and they can use this QR code to go to my website and purchase the
Oh,
book.
that's perfect.
So you can take a few of those for me. Spread the word. You in the middle?
No, you're in the
No,
house.
I'm in the
Oh,
middle.
okay. Let me just put this down. I don't want to spill that water. Okay.
Okay, put the book in front of her.